First, I want to thank Northland Coffee Connect for having me down here. Pretty exciting to be out and kind of showing my product. This is only the second time I've presented it. I was down at Gladstone Rotary yesterday and had a really good time with those folks down there. Tell you a little bit about myself and kind of explain why I created the site, walk you quickly through the site. If I can do it all in 8 minutes, I'll be lucky. I taught middle school English for about 6 years here in the Northland, and all that while I've kind of had this passion for news. And I went through the 30-year-old thing of, am I sure I want to keep doing this thing with the rest of my life? And read all the books about chasing your dream and all that stuff, and finally realized, oh, well, I've been writing this political blog called Meanderings from Clay County, Missouri. It's now called Musings. And I thought, well, during this time, my wife and I, we paid off, we're completely debt-free, 4-year journey, and we did a day raising thing. And so we're in this situation where we can kind of take this leap, and we decided to. And so the Northland News was born in June. I launched June 23rd. One of the reasons I made the decision to launch the site, the pitch actually named me the 2014 Blogger of the Year in Kansas City. If that means a whole lot, I don't know, but it was a nice recognition for some of the work I've done on that blog over the years. So as I said, I launched the Northland News. I see my site as kind of a unique solution to a problem that I think a lot of Kansas Cityans know. You look at the local news, and it's kind of not very good. One of the things that drives me nuts when you look at a lot of our local stations, and you may not realize this, but if you look at like all the major news networks, they recycle a lot of content. Almost half of their content on their website is pulled from other news sources. And the reason that is because those websites are all owned, all those news networks are owned by out-of-state, bigger news media companies. The other thing that they do a lot of is what's called clickbait. Have you guys heard that term? And if you ever look at a website really closely, especially a news website, 2 of the 4 local stations are terrible about this, but you will find a lot of times these very racy photos in the sidebar on the bottom of your articles that are tied to what are essentially junky articles that have nothing to do with anything of value, but they want you to click on it. It's called clickbait. And when you click on it, you go to a site that's ad-driven, very heavily ad-driven, and the hope is you click on an ad while you're there, and you go down the rabbit hole of clicking on more and more ads. I won't say the local station recently, but I was on a positive news story on a local station. On the top right of the website is an image of a female athlete. She's a swimmer. She's got her swimsuit pulled all the way up, and the article titled out and said, "Athlete wardrobe fails." This is on a major local news channel, high placement. You can't put a local small business there just trying to work themselves to death to make their business run. Instead, you're going to put that junk out there that my child, when he turns 13, might go on and have to read. I don't particularly care much for that. So the Northland News features local small business advertisers, that's my goal, and charities. None of the clickbait stuff. The site's very clean. I'm not running any of the ad. There's some companies out there that will force, that will put those types of articles in the bottom of your website. I have no interest in ever running those things. We want to cover news locally. I want to do news a little bit differently. We want to focus on local charities, local small businesses, and local things that actually matter in the community. There's a huge coverage gap here in the Northland. North Kansas City, the schools, nobody covers. A lot of times the major news networks, when they come up here, it's not for anything positive or optimistic. It's usually just something bad has happened. Sadly, like the story just recently over off 108th Street where those 2, mother and daughter, was shot. But they don't do a lot of other content up here. I think that there's so much that goes on that we just don't know about. And as people, I think we're very pessimistic, sometimes justifiably. There's certainly some problems right now. But one of the things that drives me crazy is the news media seems to feed that pessimism. Instead of raising the absolutely do we need to know about bad things, certainly, but there are a lot of other things that I think we would benefit from by seeing our news content on a daily basis. And the other thing is too with the local news, a lot of times when they're recycling national news stories, most of us have probably seen that 2-3 times on our Facebook streams. How many of you have a Facebook feed? And maybe spend at least 30 minutes, an hour on there a day. It's part of how we get information now. Jennifer, you back here at the computer? Okay. Just walking through the site real quick. Front page, the ad cards are on your table there. If you want to take a look at them, you're welcome to. You're welcome to take them home. If you need another one, I have more with me over there. Our main sections, the front page is filled with local news content, most recent content. Stop right there, Jennifer. We do have an opinion section, and one of the things I'm trying to do that's a little bit different is, a lot of times people say, well, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what my elected officials are saying, and that's justifiable. So one of the things I'm trying to do is if a local news or a local politician, school board member, city council, mayor wants to say something, it's going to be on my site. I have, right now in the opinion section, I have all the newsletters of Congressman Graves since we launched, McCaskill, Blunt, and I'm also working on, I've got 3 of the local House members as well. And there you go, you see the drop down. We do have a business directory. That's the cheapest way to get on our site. It's $25 a month, and that does give you front site placement as well. We have what I call a business rotator on the front screen, and that pulls a business profile in every so often on the front screen. I do want to feature the same thing like the business directory with the charities as well. And then Jennifer, if you'll hover over the community calendar, there is, this is free to list events in the community. You have something going on that you think people should know about. It's easy, free to list, takes probably about 5 minutes at the most the first time, and probably less than that the second or third, because it does save your venue, your organizer information, and that sort of thing. Jennifer, if you would scroll down for me, please. We have ad placements in the top. Right there, prominently, there's the local business rotator. Keep scrolling down there. And then these ads here, the half sidebar, they're also placed throughout the site. The site is optimized for mobile. It's one of the big things right now. 60% of our website traffic does come through a mobile device. That is the way of the future. I was listening to an investment article when it was coming down on an app on my phone. I was listening to an article, I didn't say that. They were talking about the computer market right now and just how the computer market is struggling because it's less and less shared all the time. So if you are advertising on the sidebar, you also are placed inside on the mobile device. You're welcome to open it up and look at it on your phone here. Jennifer, just scroll on down for me real quick here. These now ads here, you'll see them on the ad partnering table. They're kind of a Facebook. They pull in your Facebook and Twitter feeds and place them on our site. So that's about it. Anybody have any questions? Yes, sir.
I guess how do you go about, because obviously if you look hard enough, there's probably more news than you want or even 100 names you could alter. So how do you kind of filter through, and do you have sort of people that call you with tips as far as?
I do have a location on the side, on the sidebar on the bottom for tips. I'm trying myself to kind of pick and choose stuff here in the Northland that I know that I'm trying to stay away from other stuff that other people are covering. One of the other things I'm doing is kind of, I guess, in a sense, like a drudge report, so to speak. I'm going through the local news, and I do have a post every day that kind of aggregates all of the current content that's written in the other news sources that I think are beneficial for Northlanders to kind of know about and see as well. So that's kind of the main way, just trying to hit the gaps, I guess you might say. When the school season launches, one of the things I'm trying to do is I do have one young man already from Staley High School that's going to write a sports copy for me. I'm trying to hire a kid out of each high school in the Northland to help with that. Give them an opportunity to kind of cut their teeth if it's something they think they want to do, and give them a little bit of ownership too in the process. So, yes, ma'am.
What's your readership?
Sorry, I didn't say that. I should have. Currently, since site launch, we've got about 6,000 unique visitors on the site. 2,600 of them are returning. That's just in a month. There's a similar model that I'm working from in the area on the Kansas side, who's got about 55,000 unique visitors. So, I think we're off to a pretty decent start. Our email list, if you haven't seen it, or when you pull up your screen, you can be entered for a chance to win a Chapel's gift card. I'm trying to give away a gift card every month to grow my email newsletter. We have 255 people on that right now as well. So, and the open rate for our email newsletter is actually 3 times the industry average, which I'm pretty pleased to see. It shows that people are interested. And one of the things I continue to say when I tell people about this, they're like, "Oh, this is great, good idea." I think as in Northland, a lot of times, you. Yes, sir.
Are there contracts on your piece, or is it just per month as far as the advertisers you choose?
You can choose. I do have a discount right now. Buy 3 months, get 3 months free. They'll lock in your rates for an entire year if you want to go past the 6 months. I do offer discounts for 501c3s, 5% off any ad package that you want. And it's kind of customizable. And the other thing that is not on the ad card that I am doing, you do get access to our social media feed, which is a little bit different. So if you were to start a business profile or an advertising, first day on the site, I'm going to boost your business through my Facebook feed. And so everybody, at least everybody will see it at one time. I have an opportunity to either go to your website or go if you want to do like a sponsored post or sponsored content on our site to that as well. So.
Last one. You go through it?
Oh God. No. I want to be as open, as honest as I can. I'm not a fan of ghostwriting, which does sometimes reduce the amount of content that is on the site. But one of the things that we need to start accepting, and I think we know this intuitively, but we haven't kind of got around to it, and it's something I struggle with. I want good content on my site. I don't just want stuff to fill it. When you, just to give you an example, when you log on Facebook, I think the number is there are 1,500 posts vying for your attention. And Facebook, the reason people, a lot of businesses complain about the new algorithm with Facebook and how my stuff is, it doesn't get seen. Well, yeah, it's because you're competing so much with other businesses. Facebook generally says about 300 posts get to you a day, and you have a potential of 1,500. So that's why on Facebook sometimes you have, if you're running a Facebook feed for a business, you want good content. Otherwise, Facebook won't feed it to people because from their standpoint, they want you to stay on that thing as long as possible, and they're not going to give you stuff that they don't think is interesting. And that's how that is determined by how many other people think it's interesting. So what I'm getting at is, to his question, I just don't, we have an information overload, but the real problem is we have an information consumption overload. And we need to learn to be a little bit better filters of what we're pulling in, which is one of the reasons why I hate clickbait so much, is really who has the time to go down that rabbit hole. Love to talk to you afterwards if anybody's interested in advertising or just learn a little bit more, come see me and love to meet you. Thanks.
Thanks, Andy.